You know what that sound means? It's another episode of Game for a Movie where we ask, are you game for a movie? I am Mike, joined by
Andre.
Jill.
Oh, I almost got you. I thought we were gonna. Yeah, okay, all right. No,
What do you what's
we
wrong?
didn't even
What's wrong?
talk about how to the order of
Talk it
that.
out.
Yeah, we
What-
didn't.
Did we
didn't.
mess it up or what?
No, I
Yeah,
think
how
we're
can we
good.
mess up what was not planned?
Right.
I think we're
We're
good.
just riffing.
Names
All right,
were
great.
said.
I thought we did
Yeah.
a great job. Cool.
Yeah, I just thought I would get you. I was trying to get you. That's
you want
really
us
what
to
it
mess
was.
up? Just to be
No,
clear?
I was just trying to catch you off guard. That's
Okay.
what was happening.
Gotcha. Well, I'm ready for anything.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you ready for anything? All right, then what are you drinking?
I'm drinking grapefruit sparkling water from Whole Foods.
Ooh, grapefruit sparkling water. Jill?
I'm drinking a passion fruit green bubble tea from Kung Fu Tea. I guess this is an ad, not sponsored now.
Not sponsored.
It's refreshing. It's got boba. I'll ignore the minions that are on the packaging.
Yeah, right.
It's delicious.
Yeah, right.
It's filthy with minions. Oh,
Of course. Oh my gosh.
But at least I get to stab the eye to
yes.
get my straw.
You have to
in there.
commit eye violence to get into the boba tea
Oh my
on a
God.
minion. So
And I
great.
feel nothing as I plunge it in there. So
Yep.
I just learned a lot about you, Jill. Just cold-blooded. Absolutely
very-
cold-blooded.
Yeah, we are.
Very blessed.
This is not a minion household.
not a minion household. It is definitely not.
Well, I guess I'll hold down the fort with the alcohol because I am alcohol.
Yay.
I have from Vermont Zero Gravity Power Suit. Obviously, you guys can't see.
I was
it
about to
because
say, it
it's
is getting green
screened.
screened the
It
F
is
out
green
right
screened
now.
beyond
I'm
belief.
sure it's a
Wow.
very lovely can.
Power suit, not leisure suit.
It is Power Suit. It has like old school,
Like it looks like Common Rider stuff. That's awesome.
yeah. It's as soon as I saw the can design, I was like, I need this.
Yeah,
It's pretty
that's
good.
Awesome.
It's a DIPA. No, it's a just an IPA. But yeah, tropical hop trifecta of flavor. And it says unleashing a tropical.
How is it? You enjoying it?
It's very good. This is actually my third of the 4-pack. It's good. And like I can't say anything bad about it, but it's just that. It's
Okay.
middle of the road. You see it, you grab it, you're just like, I know what I'm getting with this. So it's good. You know?
I'll keep an eye out for it. Good to have in the fridge.
Exactly. It's at the new so we have a new liquor store down the road.
Oh, you do?
I do, and it's honestly awesome.
Yeah.
We walked in and it's just like this little place, but when I tell you they have walls and walls of booze, they have walls and walls of booze.
Do you think I could get bougie ass rum there? Like, and I shouldn't say
Probably.
like expensive, but like you remember when I was like, it was like last year, I was super pumped to find that Denizen rum. I need another
Yeah.
bottle of that. Think they could have that? I'll have to look.
Maybe. I'm willing to look for you because I need beer soon anyway. But yeah, so that place is awesome. Highly recommend it. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I just know where it is. It's one of those places like you just know where it is. You don't know the name of it, but you're like, it's right there around the corner.
Right.
Yeah. So we have talked about our drinks.
Yes.
Let's talk about some TV
That's
and
right.
then movies.
We're stretching the definition a little bit here today on the media we
Yeah.
consume.
Game for a TV show.
All right.
Game for a series?
Game for a series.
Game
Okay.
for a series. All right, Chooms, jack in. We're gonna chat about Cyberpunk Edgerunners.
Nerd.
It's,
Sorry, I haven't even heard of it yet. So nerd.
You haven't heard of it?
Oh, you haven't heard of it?
I haven't heard of this at all, but I see Giancarlo Esposito, and now you got me.
Giancarlo Esposito is in there.
It's by the same anime Studio Trigger, who did Gurren Lagann.
Same staff that worked out. Gynex did Gurren Lagann, and then people from Studio Gynex left and made their own studio.
Well, I thought Trigger it was the same studio that did Gurren Lagann.
No.
And it's the bones of the people
Yes.
who did Gurren Lagann.
That is correct.
did the
Studio
series.
Trigger's big anime. They have a bunch of them, but their big anime is like Kill la Kill, Little Witch Academia.
Yeah.
Their most recent big movie was Promare. That was a little more. Well, either way, this is like a well-known. Studio Trigger's like a well-known anime studio. If you're into anime, you're familiar with Trigger, and their works are pretty popular and very stylistic.
Okay.
So Cyberpunk Edgerunners is a 10-episode miniseries based off of the Cyberpunk universe.
Yeah.
So it's like it's like so it's based off of the game, which is based off of the tabletop, tabletop game, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of layers.
Yeah. So basically, this anime has kind of taken the nerd world by storm. I feel like in my social circles, at least, insofar as it's kind of redeemed Cyberpunk 2077 as a product in a weird way. Hey, come on!
Don't knock it till you try it, man.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys take this as offensive. I'm just calling you a nerd.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, right.
Either way, so I guess Mike, like zooming out a little bit, like how familiar are you with Cyberpunk 2077, like the video game?
So I know of it. I never actually played it. I was kind of waiting to see. I know it was Project CD Red.
CD Project Red, yeah.
CD
same guys who
Project
did
Red. Yeah. I had the letters right, just in the wrong order.
Yeah. Just you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
What? The soundtrack opening theme is by Franz Ferdinand?
It's
really
so
the opening is This Fire by Franz Ferdinand.
The whole soundtrack is so far pretty good.
Yeah, just watch the intro and you'll get an idea of like how stylized it is, you know?
Okay, yeah.
It's awesome. This show just oozes style. It's definitely very over the top.
Okay.
And so I guess circling back, Cyberpunk 2077, huge video game that came out at the end of 2020. Kind of notorious for coming out in an unfinished state, super buggy, super massive disappointment. This is supposed to be the future GTA game, right?
Yeah.
Like this is supposed to be GTA, but sci-fi.
Yeah.
And people are hyping this up to be the next GTA, and it was definitely not that. And there's a lot of controversy around that.
There was,
what they promised versus what they delivered, yada yada yada. All this is to say, there's been a dark cloud over Cyberpunk 2077 as a franchise.
Yeah.
And this anime coming out is kind of like a perfect storm because they've been steadily working on the video game, doing a bunch of bug fixes. It's in a stable state now, adding on to it, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
This show has kind of garnered a lot of goodwill, and a lot of people are kind of jumping back into the video game and realizing, oh, hey, for what this is a fun game. You know?
What I've heard is they're fixing the video game, so it's not like it's like a train wreck anymore.
Yeah,
no, it's kind of getting the
it's No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say.
I know exactly what you're going to compare it to.
Yes, exactly.
And Andre's actually started playing the video game.
Yeah, this show was successful in that. I got the video. I noticed they timed it perfectly. I looked on Steam; it was on sale for $30, and I was like, "Oh, okay, fine, I'll try it." You know?
Yeah, okay.
So,
yep, that
now
makes sense.
Keanu Reeves is inside my head talking trash to me, and it's all great.
What was the whole thing when he was there? You're breathtaking.
No, you're breathtaking.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It was awesome. Anyways, so about the actual flippin' show. So Cyberpunk Edgerunners takes place in Night City. That's like the quintessential setting for both the game and the show.
Love that name, Night City.
Yeah, it's hyper stylized, near future. Think Blade Runner as like kind of like a template for it, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Blade Runner, Akira.
But Akira, yeah, exactly. Like, but turned all the way up to 11 in terms of just ridiculousness. Like, it's just it's kind of like a world where corporate greed is completely taken over, and everybody has just given into their hedonistic desires. If that makes sense.
I just want one of these days personal greed instead of corporate greed, like just once.
Right. Yeah. I mean, just once. So yeah, it's definitely very cynical, very tough, very like on the nose commentary about our society and our and capitalism at large, whatever. This is like a world where like everybody has cybernetic enhancements. Some people are more chrome than flesh at this point.
Okay.
You get cybernetic like limb enhancements by going to what's called a Ripper dock, where they literally like you just bring a part to you that's like, this thing's supposed to go in my spine, you're gonna attach it to me and rip it and just merge it into me. Like, okay, cool. You just do that for money.
Did we mention that this thing is incredibly gory? There's so much blood.
Okay.
Yes, the show is incredibly gory and incredibly sexual. Like, it's super. Horny is not the right word for it.
It's horny.
Yeah, I guess
it's horny.
You're right. It's horny.
It's horny.
Yeah, it's horny.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not a hentai by any means.
Yeah,
no.
This
movie's thirsty.
This is not judgment on any anime.
The show's thirsty.
But finish your thought, Mike. Yeah.
Oh, I was just saying, this is not judgment on any anime, but they all have at least a little bit of horn, like little bit of horny.
Yes.
For the most part, I agree with that.
Yeah.
But this is like, I would say the horniness here is in line with also the video game. You know what I mean? The video game is also very horny, and that's just a Polish video game, right?
Yeah, right.
There's a lot of sex, there's a lot of violence, a lot of gore, a lot of action. So definitely not for kids. Don't show this show to your kids. This is not definitely not going to show up on the kids version of Netflix.
I mean, it says TVMA.
Yes.
Yep.
extremely anime.
Don't. Yeah.
And they're milking that for all it's worth.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, I
But,
mean,
yeah.
it just does a really solid job of kind of showing you this world and through the perspective of like a young, I guess, teenager, right? David Martinez. He's kind of
teenager.
like shown as this street kid whose mom is trying to get him through the super prestigious like Arasaka Academy, Arasaka being the main corporation that controls most of Night City. So like, he's growing up in the streets, but he's attending school at the super high prestigious like prep school almost, right?
Okay.
And long story short, he finds himself in a situation where he needs to essentially, Breaking Bad's not the right word for it, but like, he needs to hit the streets and start, getting work through the underbelly of society. And so he kind of falls into
street smart.
Yes. And he kind of stumbles into this super awesome spinal cord extension, like equipment called Sandevistan, which
Sandevistan.
It's a military grade cybernetic enhancement that lets you basically go like the Flash for a few seconds, right? Like where he just instantaneously moves around. Basically, that's the plot MacGuffin that kind of thrusts him into the cyberpunk like role, as in like a mercenary for hire, living on the other side of society. And it's just kind of following the adventures of the Edgerunners gang that he kind of, pals up with, full of different personalities, different styles. And it's, we're full disclosure, it's 10 episodes. We're halfway through. Yeah. And it's just a really solid vibe. It's like it'll change tones on a dime, where it'll be kind of like this kind of buddy kind of lovable cast of characters, and then all of a sudden extreme violence or stuff breaks out, and it kind of just it keeps you on your toes. And then it'll suddenly shift to this really serene, really cool like moon dance sequence that's like, I don't know, it does a really good job of flipping and shifting through tones. And it's kind of taps into why this kind of cyberpunk setting is so interesting to people, I feel like. And it's kind of, retroactively revitalized interest in what used to be a pretty busted game. So it's kind of a cool story.
What used to be a busted game.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I gotta say, like, I had minor interest in the game, and then when everything was going wrong and everything like that, because I do like the idea of this world and everything. Yeah. This might be the way to get in.
Yeah, and I think it did that for a lot of people. You do not need to play the
game to watch this show. Yes.
Okay.
I don't remember if Andre mentioned it, but like around the same time that the show came out, the game was put on sale for $30.
That's what you're saying. Yeah.
Yep. So sorry,
they knew what they were doing.
So exactly. They were very aware that like, oh, this would be a really good time to make it more affordable, and it worked.
And they've gone through this before because obviously they kind of had the same brand synergy with the Witcher Netflix show, because the same game studio worked on the Witcher video games, right? Yeah. And so Witcher 3 saw its peak player count after the Netflix show came out. By that point, Witcher 3 was like a 5-year-old game, right?
And didn't they release a like
They released some like in-game items from the Netflix show. Like you can basically wear the Henry Cavill like Geralt outfit in the video game, which
really.
Yes.
I was going to say there was extra DLC on there.
Yes, they've also done the same thing with Edgerunners. You can get David Martinez's like coat in Cyberpunk 2077 now.
Yeah, everything's connected.
Exactly. No, they know, like CD Projekt Red has kind of seen the dollar signs on this one, and so now Cyberpunk has had its highest player count on Steam, which is insane. So
that is pretty crazy.
Yeah. I would say definitely check out the anime. I would say like
start with the opening. That's really, I agree with Andre. That's a great place to start to kind of get a sense of what you're about to watch.
And I mean, Franz Ferdinand.
Franz Ferdinand. Yeah, exactly. And I would say 2 episodes. Give it 2 episodes before you're like, is this for me? Is this not for me?
That's always what you gotta do with TV.
Yeah, you gotta be a little generous.
Exactly. You can't just run on the pilot because they have so much information to dump on you.
Yes.
If you give it 1 episode, you're gonna hate every TV show ever, except for maybe like 1 or 2.
Yep. I will say that like they definitely like lead into like the made up slang for Cyberpunk, like I called you a choom, which is like basically like the word for buddy, pal. Yeah. But like they will just throw out these words and you'll just have to be like, I don't know what that means.
I'm not your choom, buddy.
Yeah, they call everything preem, super nova, and preem just means cool. Like preem is like premium, like like preem ride, dude. Like, oh man, that's so nova. Like they will just say that, and I love how corny it is because it is very like it's very earnest in its slang. Mike looks like he's very pained right now.
Stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
They sell it though. They sell it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a fun show right now. I mean, I don't want to give it a definitive rating because we haven't finished it yet. It could nosedive in the latter half, but right now it is a solid 4 net runners out of 5.
Nice. Wow.
Nice. I agree with that.
Okay. Jill, you have a new movie for us.
I do. 29 years after it came onto the scene in the summer of 1993, at long last, the fans can rejoice because Hocus Pocus 2 has landed on Disney Plus.
Yay!
And it's, I'll just start it off. It is exactly what you think it's going to be on the tin. I appreciate that this movie did not try to play fast and loose with what it was going to do with the plot. It knew that they had the original Sanderson sisters back, Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy, and they put them right up front. This movie does not waste time getting them back from the dead.
I mean, the tagline is "We're back, witches."
Yep, basically. So like there's only so much I can say because I don't want to spoil too much of the plot.
Bro, I mean, I feel like the plot was just like...
Yeah, but that's the other side of the coin here, is I don't want to spoil the plot, but there's also not a lot of plot.
Yeah,
I will say I saw the last half of it and I felt like the last half, I got home while Claire was watching it, just jumped in and said basically, oh, okay, cool, I know what's happening.
Yeah.
Sanderson sisters are back.
Yeah, the Sanderson sisters are brought back. The movie actually does a great job with its opening because it starts in the past. Allegedly 10 years before Thackeray Banks and his sister died / turned into a cat. I don't know if I believe that, but that's what the movie wants you to think, that Winifred was only 26.
Yeah, if
when
you do
she
the
died.
wait, hold on. I'm sorry. When did Thackeray Banks get killed?
1693 or something.
Okay. I have an addendum to make. I apparently misread.
You were very upset about this last night.
Yeah, I know. I apparently probably misread it. I'm looking at the Wikipedia article now. The opening intro for Hocus Pocus 2 is in 1653, so that's 40 years difference. That makes much more sense.
Okay, that makes way more sense because you were like, wait, it starts in 1686, so she was only Bette Midler allegedly in 1993 was only 26 years old. Big wink right there.
Yeah.
So it starts. The film starts with actually focusing on the young Sanderson sisters, and when I say young, I mean like teenagers.
They're supposed to be 16, I believe.
Yeah, they're supposed to be 16 if they're all actually the same age, and we get to find out how they became witches, and the reason that they became witches is because everybody's favorite soccer club owner, Hannah
Waddingham.
Winningham.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I was just like, wait, there's soccer in this? Oh, I got
That's right.
Yeah, all right.
UFC Richmond.
Got it. All right. Yeah. AFC Richmond.
AFC Richmond.
Yep.
Existed in Salem. Yep.
Yeah. All right.
She is the quote unquote mother witch. She gives them book. Good old Boooooook. And that is how they become witches.
One more time.
And Boooooook.
Nice. You gotta have the octave change.
I just gotta make sure I had that recorded right because I was interrupting for a second.
Yeah, no worries. So, like I said, she gives them the book. That's how they become witches, and then it jumps forward to present day, and we meet our new main characters. They're 3 high school girls. It's one of them's 16th birthday. They have a ritual where they go off to the woods and they do a little circle and some Wiccan pagan things. But one of them has a new boyfriend. So there's some divisions there, and you kind of can guess where the plot goes and how the Sanderson sisters get brought back.
Orgy.
What?
Yeah, that one. Yep.
What?
Nope, you're correct.
What?
What?
Huh? What?
Who said orgy?
I missed what? Orgy. Oh, that's what you said. Yeah, totally. In a Disney movie, an orgy. And like I said, the movie, it within the first 15 minutes, the Sanderson sisters are back. They're singing. They're doing a whole bunch of callbacks to the original movie. They do the book joke with like the sing-song call for it multiple times because they know exactly what they had.
Yeah, I got that one.
With this. And the rest of the movie is the girls trying to run away from the Sanderson sisters, the Sanderson sisters trying to accomplish what their goals are. I appreciate that this is not a complete retread of the original film.
Yeah.
They got Doug Jones back as Billy Butcherson.
Yes.
And he and Sam Richardson, who plays the character Gilbert, if you've seen the After Party on Apple TV, he played
Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates.
Oh, he's in that?
Yeah, he's the husband.
Oh, I've never actually seen that, but I really liked him in the After Party. So I was very happy to see him in things.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he is very good, and I saw him in it, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool, yeah."
Oh, he's going to be in the new Velma show. He's going to be Shaggy.
Yes, he is.
He's going to be Shaggy?
Yeah, he's going to be Shaggy. It wasn't me, man.
Oh, aren't they calling him by his dead name, Norville, in that show?
Norville, probably.
Yeah.
That show. By that, I'm really worried about that show.
Well, like Scooby-Doo's not even in it. They said.
Yeah. Well, they said that they couldn't get him.
That's not my problem and everything. I feel like they're checking so many boxes. They have a black Shaggy. They have Velma's a lesbian. They have, and it's just.
Daphne also might be bi.
Okay. Yeah, but I just feel like they're checking boxes for checking boxes, not actually like doing justice to the character.
I trust Minnie Kaling.
Yeah, me too.
We'll see.
It'll probably be funny. Like I'm just the thing that raises my eyebrow. It's like we're gonna do a Scooby-Doo show, but like I don't know, we couldn't fit the dog in there. Like that's the part that's raising.
We don't have the budget.
Like okay, like what are we doing here then? Like what do you got here? Like it would be like I don't know, whatever.
We're so off topic, guys.
I can't wait until Simu Liu is playing Fred Jones.
That would be awesome.
That would be amazing. Actually, that would make my day.
Actually.
Yeah. So as I was saying before we got off the Velma sidetrack here, Sam Richardson is in there. He plays a magic shop owner named Gilbert. He and Doug Jones is Billy Butcherson. They have a cute little subplot that I loved.
They would be good in a buddy comedy. Yeah, those two were kind of fun together.
The most disappointing thing to me is the way that this movie looked. Okay. And it's a combination of two things. One, they had this weird ass filter on this movie the entire time to give it an aesthetic. It looks like a filter you could add on from Instagram. Ew. And then the other thing is that it looks like a Disney Channel original movie, not a movie. Like I'm not expecting it to look like War of the Rings, but it looks like a made for TV movie.
Does the first one look like that too, though?
No, that one looks like a film.
Yeah, right.
And it was also shot on film, so
right.
Yeah, well, there's that.
It's not like the first one has like these amazing special effects, but no, I mean like Jill absolutely hits the nail on the head. This is like the classic like straight to streaming budget kind of cinematography that you kind of know. It's like okay, this is kind of made on the cheap.
But like if you're showing up to this movie because you have fond memories of Hocus Pocus, the first Hocus Pocus, you're gonna have a fun time. I think you're gonna walk out of it probably feeling like you don't need to see it again.
Yeah.
I know this does not I'm happy it exists. Good for all the actresses coming back, and you know, especially from seeing Sarah Jessica Parker actually look like she was having a good time.
Yeah,
was a thing I didn't know I needed. So it's nice to see that, but it's not replacing the first one. I still have that. I don't think I'll come back to this because I need the next chapter. Gotcha. On the other hand, if you did not grow up watching Hocus Pocus and this is your first entry point, I think you could just jump in here and it'd be fine. Things would go over your head, so you wouldn't understand what these callbacks are, but they're subtle enough.
Yeah.
And then don't quote me on this because it might not happen. The film could spin off into another franchise that has nothing to do with the Sanderson sisters, but more on the three present day characters because of how their story goes. And I mean, spooky things are in. Disney Plus is going to have a Goosebumps series somewhere down the line. People like scary things. We're having that revival. Give me my Are You Afraid of the Dark? So the stories that they could tell with these present day characters, these girls, there's a hole in their programming for something like this that would slot in very, very nicely. I don't know if that's what they were thinking or if this was an indirect backdoor pilot for that series.
Right.
All three of the Sanderson sisters actresses have said that they would come back for a third one if they could make it work.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
They like to do this.
Yeah.
But it's not a hard requirement for them.
Right.
But
it's a lot of makeup and stuff, but other than that, I mean.
Yeah, no, as in it's they don't need to be bribed back with a lot of money to do it. I think they like being these characters enough that if they had a good script in their hands that justified why they're in it, they probably would be game.
And it is a game. I see what you did there. It is a good like character too. Like all three of them. I say character because I really have them as one real character. Like they all have their different personalities and everything, but as the Sanderson sisters, it's not as Winnie as like, yeah, it's the unit is a character.
Yeah. And I will say that this film does a good job of kind of giving Sarah and Mary, Sarah Jessica Parker and Kathy Nigini, respectively, a little bit more to do and flesh them out a bit.
Yeah.
But, I also could just very much see Disney execs looking at the film and saying like, hey, those three present day girls, Becca, Izzy, and Kathy, I could see stories. I see those dollar signs. So time will tell on that one. Yeah, exactly.
Dollar bill, y'all. Dollar bill.
But, I don't know. This was not almost 2 hours that I regret. I'm happy I've seen it.
Yeah.
We're still gonna watch the original one this Halloween.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
At the end of the day, was I upset this movie exists? No. If do I ever want to see it again? Also no.
Yeah. And
okay.
I'll close by saying that while there was some callbacks I wish they did do. They did keep some of that like adult humor that was littered throughout the first one.
Okay.
Not raunchy isn't the right word, but not as like pushing the envelope like the way the bus driver
they had a virgin
does.
joke pretty early on that it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
The humor in this was still pretty good.
I mean, there still needs to be a version.
I got a couple laughs out of it. Got a couple laughs out of me.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the orgy did not happen because they needed a virgin. Got it.
Yes, that's exactly
That's
right.
the reason.
Yes. Yep. Otherwise, it's the black flame,
Yeah, exactly. When do they go to Halloween Town? When does that happen?
Halloween Town 5? Yeah, because they
really been that many. Jesus.
Yeah, because there's Halloween Town 1, 2, and then they had the third one, which is where the last one that had the main original actress. She brings the kids from Halloween Town to the human world, and then Halloween Town 4 is a completely different actress who goes to college.
Okay,
so that's what you do, and that's just bad. Although, not Angela Lansbury. Maybe it was Angela. No, not Angela Lansbury.
Debbie Reynolds.
Yeah, Debbie Reynolds was in the original 2, and then possibly and she's in the third one.
Okay.
She's not in it, but she is in it. Yep, because I'm looking at the Return to Halloween Town poster right now. It's a horrible logo. Anyway.
I just
ends in college. It's bad. Don't watch the last 2. Watch the first 2.
I just immediately think of Nightmare Before Christmas when you say Halloween Town. Like I'm just thinking it's the Kingdom Hearts level or whatever,
The Kingdom Hearts level. Did you realize there was a movie,
Hearts
right?
2
yes, of course.
The Halloween Town 2 plot, basically.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah. On a out of 5, I will give Hocus Pocus 2 3 out of 5 Roombas.
Okay, Roombas. I got how you get there. All right, well, we got one more movie to discuss. We are going to take a quick break, though, because we have to get those breaks in. So we're going to take a quick break and come back on the other side with another movie. I'll see you then. And we're back with Game for a Movie. We've got one more movie to discuss. It is spooky season. And if you didn't know, I have been watching iconic horror characters. I had you guys vote. This is what I've been watching. I've been putting it on our Letterboxd. We do have a Letterboxd, guys. I don't know if I ever told you that.
Yeah.
I can get you to log in for that if you need, so you can start reviewing on there too if you
that would be a good call. Yeah
if you ever feel any interest. So I'll send that stuff your way. So iconic horror characters. So I kind of thought, okay, what can I watch that's kind of newer that has an iconic horror character? Hellraiser just came out on Hulu as of Friday, I believe, which was yesterday as of this recording. So I watched it day one. Wow. Okay. Hellraiser, if you don't know, is a series that has been going on way too long.
Ouch.
It has. Well, it has. I mean,
what was the first? The first one was like mid '80s, right?
Yeah,
Late
the first movie was '87, I believe.
Okay.
If I remember correctly. And then
a story based by Clive Barker.
Clive Barker. Yep, exactly. Yes, the first one was '87. This series, if you're familiar with it, lots of deformity, lots of blood, lots of body horror, exactly. Especially with characters like Pinhead, Pinhead,
Chatterbox.
Chatterbox.
I can't remember what the woman one is called.
I'm trying to remember as well. And you can't say the woman one anymore because this is a change for Pinhead. Pinhead was played by a woman this time, gender
I
swapped.
like that.
Yes, the Weeper and the Gasp and the Sphinx are the other ones that I can see here.
Sorry, Chatterbox is actually the chattering, but I call him Chatterbox. There's also
Chatterbox.
Butterball.
Butterball, yes, Butterball. Butterball's not in this one actually.
According to no, sorry, I thought you meant the original.
The first one, yes. No Butterball in this one.
Oh, sadness.
Yeah. So it's funny as well because this year was the first time I ever watched a single Hellraiser movie.
Really?
I had never seen it before.
I still haven't seen any Hellraisers. Yeah.
The first, okay, I like the first two. Just saying.
The second one is
good.
actually better than the first one, in my opinion, and I think both were great. If you have time, well worth the watch. Of course, it's older, so you don't expect like the most amazing.
Oh my god, there's 11 of these goddamn movies.
Yeah, I told you it's been going on way too long.
They really put it on the directed VHS circuit.
Yeah,
exactly.
After a certain
yes,
point.
yeah. There are a ton of these. So this is a complete rebrand of the series. It's a different director. It's still based on Clive Barker, and you can definitely tell there's some love. It's not like it's. Sorry, I'm also looking up the movies because I just want to see how many. Yeah, Hellraiser Judgment was the last one in 2018.
Oh my god.
Hellraiser Hellworld. I remember seeing an ad for that on like another DVD I had, and it looked miserable.
Jesus, they put out 2 in 1 year.
Yeah, exactly. Hellraiser Deader and Hellraiser Hellworld were released in the same year.
They named it Deader.
Deader. More dead.
More dead.
More
dead harder.
I mean, they were probably very cheap to make.
Yes.
After a certain point.
Oh, I'm sure. And I mean, what you can see from these, besides like the costumes and stuff like that, or like the look, it is very cheap. The original
was made for $1 million. That is so inexpensive. I can't believe that.
Which one?
The original, the 1987 one, was made for $1 million.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, sorry.
You're good. So if you don't know anything about Hellraiser, basically there's always a puzzle box. And if you solve this puzzle box, you bring the Cenobites to Earth. The Cenobites are those characters that look deformed, like they're missing skin in places. And then, of course, there's the leader of the Cenobites, Pinhead.
Okay. Yeah.
Which I actually think in this movie they called her the priest.
Oh, that's a twist.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'm for it because hearing the name Pinhead doesn't bring any fear into my heart. But basically the main part of this, there's 2 real parts to it. So the beginning, there's this guy Voight who sends his secretary to pick up the puzzle box, and basically what Voight is doing is sacrificing people so that if you sacrifice, I think it's 7 people, you get a reward, is what the idea is. The rewards are, I don't remember all of them, but the 2 big ones to remember are Resurrection and Leviathan.
Okay.
Basically, Voight gets to this reward, and then he disappears for the other half of the movie. He does come back later, and through happenstance and everything like that. So now it's kind of flash forward a little bit, and this girl Riley, who is a recovering drug addict, because of course, she finds the puzzle box, and her boyfriend Trevor is the one that kind of put her on this path and everything. And she realizes as she solves the puzzle box, this blade keeps popping up, and the blade, once it gets your blood, you're the target for the Cenobites. So at first she doesn't think anything of it, and her brother accidentally cuts his hand, and he disappears without her knowing what's happening. Because she was on a drug trip, she doesn't remember anything. then it gets to other points. So basically she keeps solving the puzzle box. It changes form and gets the next victim. Whoever gets the blood and everything.
Okay.
And trying to figure out, she wants to get to the reward when she finds out about it so that she can resurrect her brother. But how does she do that without killing somebody, or how does she do that without hurting anybody? That's the whole point of it. I highly recommend checking it out. I'm just laying the bare bones. There's a lot more that happens in it. So I highly recommend it. I think David Bruckner is the director, and then one of the writers. So the writers are Ben Collins, Luke Piotrowski, and David S. Goyer. David S. Goyer is the one I wanted to talk about. He's written for Dark City, was one of his writings, and Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, and probably The Dark Knight Rises too, but it's not in his top 4. He also has written for Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities. He wrote for The Sandman, and he was the creator of that show as well. And so I'm just keep naming all these things because it's very obvious his pull on this. He's very like dark supernatural, that kind of stuff. So this very much makes sense. The two things I wanted to talk about most with this is the gender swap. They don't address it at all, which is great. It's a whole different world. Pinhead has always been a woman in this world.
Okay, got it. So there's no canon combination, whatever. This is just a totally new.
Yeah, in
totally
the
new
original
thing.
series, there is like an explanation as to how Pinhead became Pinhead.
Yeah.
Sure.
But this seems like I'm guessing she looks like Pinhead, but it might you said she's called the Priest.
The Priest,
so she might just be a whole other character that also happens to have the pins in there because that is an iconic component of the Hellraiser visually franchise.
Yeah. Right.
And like you got the Chatterer, you got like everybody's still the same except for Butterball's not in it. Yeah, right, exactly. But you still see all of them and everything. And like they do say the line, "Greater delights await. We wish to see you proceed." You know that.
Do they say lament configuration?
I believe so. Yes, that sounds right.
They
do definitely say a lot of configuration quotes.
Okay.
Because they call it the reward Leviathan configuration or the resurrection configuration. And the box does all these different configurations as well. You have to get through all the configurations to get to your reward. It's very interesting. And then the other thing I wanted to say is going back to this check boxes thing. The brother and the other main character, Colin, are gay lovers.
Oh.
But I do not feel like it was a checked box. I don't feel like it was.
Didn't seem forced.
It didn't seem forced, exactly.
It's just part of the story.
Exactly. And it gave another person to care about Matt's the brother's name. It gave another character to care about Matt. So Colin was willing to go with Riley through a lot of this. Colin's the gay lover, was willing to go with Riley for a lot of this because she said we can resurrect him. And so I like that because truly it did not feel like, oh, we're just throwing this in there because, you know, everybody loves the gay agenda now and that kind of stuff.
Sure.
You know, and I hate to say that, but that's kind of what movies do. But this one didn't feel forced. And so, yeah.
I have a question about the visuals. Was there a lot of practical effects used in this? Okay,
yes, good. 100%. And then
it's a hallmark of the originals.
Exactly. Yes, it is a ton of practical effects. There's not very much CGI. Yeah, it was very well done. I actually really enjoyed it. Comparing it, because again, all I've seen is Hellraiser, Hellraiser 2, and then this one, Hellraiser 2022. I would say this is above the original for me. And
okay.
That's being said that Hellraiser 2 was better than Hellraiser 1. I would say, but all three are great. I highly recommend any of them. This one, it has some lulls, so I don't want to hold against it, but there are some lulls where it's just kind of like, okay, why isn't anybody doing anything? Just kill the people. You're You're monologuing. Stop it.
Get on with it.
Exactly. But there's plenty of cannon fodder. There's plenty of Cenobites. Yeah, so I really enjoyed it. I would say probably I'll go 3.5 out of 5 configurations.
Cool. There you go.
I like
on
that.
the spooky scale, like how scary is it?
Nah.
Really?
No.
Just,
Yeah,
it's
the
just creepy.
original's not even that scary. It's
I
just
have no
graphic.
reference. Like I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
It didn't
Yeah,
sound like it was a jump scare fest. It was just more of like a creepy vibe, you know?
It's graphic.
It's creepy
Yeah.
and it's gory. Yeah. And,
Gory. Okay. Yeah.
yeah. And I
Yeah.
won't even say like it's not even creepy in the fact that I watched this at 2 a.m. I didn't have any problems going to sleep, you know.
Oh,
like,
sure. But
it's
like,
not-
you know, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
like that.
hereditary.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's not gonna keep you up at night. It says horror mystery thriller on the IMDb page. I would say more so mystery thriller.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, because horror, I mean, there are definitely horror elements. Don't get me wrong. I'm not
Yep.
going to say it's not a horror movie, but it's really more of a thriller in my mind than anything else because they lay out everything. You know exactly what they need to do. And it's just a matter of, does this person survive or does this person not survive? Pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, and that's every horror movie ever, but it's thriller more so, and the fact that they get into situations that are not that scary, but you know, are creepy. Trevor and Riley are pinned down at one point up against like this gate, and the Chatterer is there just
Yeah, with the teeth.
with the teeth and like trying to like bite at them and get through and everything. And that it's not scary, it's just okay, what's gonna happen?
Yeah,
Don't get him. Yeah, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's Hellraiser.
I think the original is worth seeing for
Mhm.
if those are listening who have not seen it.
Okay.
Just if your stomach is not one for gore and body horror,
Yes.
neither of these is going to change your mind on that.
Nope.
But
If
I agree
anything,
with
it's
Mike.
gonna-
They're not
yeah.
scary. They're just unsettling
Yes.
in the way that I was gonna say like Saw, because I don't think Saws are scary. Saw is a scary franchise.
No, it's very I would agree with that. They find themselves in traps and they have to do self-harm mutilation to get out. Yeah, those are going to be gory. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I would agree with that. It's a good comparison.
Yeah, the first one is so hokey though. Like it's
Very much
campy.
so. Yeah. Yeah.
Uncle Frank, anybody?
Oh my God, the blood Frank.
That's so gross.
It is very gross. Blood Frank is one of my favorite characters though from the whole series that I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I
creepy.
like the her stepmother.
Okay. Yeah.
The other villain character that's not a Cenobite.
Yeah. And there are other villains in this besides the Cenobites. And I think that's always been the point of these series. The Cenobites are going to do their thing and everything like that, but they are essentially controlled by the puzzle box and the blood. There needs to be somebody really pulling the strings to
Bring them out.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. But yeah, I thought it was very good. I was happy with it. I would probably watch more if they made another one. They definitely could do something with it. I don't know what, but they could do something with it. Yeah, they left the door open, so it's anything can happen. Plus, there's a fun little scene where they make a Cenobite from scratch, and you get to see that whole process. Oh, it's gruesome, but it's awesome actually. So yeah,
Keep that in mind.
yeah. Well, I guess that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of want to talk about the Mario trailer and the psychic
Oh,
damage
okay.
that
Let's
inflicted
talk
on
about the
us.
Mario
Do we have time?
trailer.
Yeah, if we have time
Just
for
real
that, let's
quick,
do
I mean,
it.
I
Yeah,
don't
let's
know.
talk about it
It
real
was-
quick. Yeah.
It was a teaser, so we don't really have much to talk about. But
And it's the second best trailer of the day that was released that day.
what
else
was it?
released that day?
Violent Night, which I sent to you guys in the chat.
I did not watch it. I'll be honest with you. Let me check it
oh.
Is
out.
it like Silent Night, the horror movie that they remade,
So
but like not?
basically what
Oh,
this
there it is.
is.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically what this is there is these people led by John Leguizamo for whatever reason, they break into this house to steal all their money because they're very rich. And this little girl is talking with Santa Claus and just wants her family to be safe. And because she's on the nice list, Santa Claus obliges. And it's David Harbour as Santa Claus.
Oh, that's why he's Santa Claus.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize this was the movie.
Yeah.
And
okay.
It's like a killing spree. It's made by the same people that did Bullet Train and John Wick.
And Nobody, which is the
Nobody. Yeah.
Bob Odenkirk movie.
Yeah. So
okay.
it looks ridiculous. And it released the same day as the Mario trailer, and I was like, this is the trailer. This is better.
Yeah, no, it looks fun. I will watch it with audio on once we're done with this podcast.
Mm-hmm. You really don't need to. I mean, you can kind of.
I know. I'm getting a pretty good vibe right now.
Yeah, right.
Okay, this goddamn Mario trailer, guys. Like,
Mario.
What did you think about it? Did thumbs up, thumbs down?
I think it was a nice steady thumbs up until the last 30 seconds when the man himself appeared, and then it kind of became it's just Chris Pratt. Because Chris Pratt plays Chris Pratt.
I don't want to gatekeep because I think gatekeeping is one of the shittiest things you can do. I think Mario is one of the most accessible IPs in the world. I'm not going to say no, but you're not a true Mario fan. That's one of the dumbest sentences ever, or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't believe Chris Pratt actually played a lot of Mario growing up.
I don't either. I don't either.
They had like a little for context. They had like a little stinger with Jack Black and Chris Pratt, like just talking about their roles.
Yeah, like a lead in.
They aired the teaser, and like Chris Pratt paused for just a bit too long of a beat when he said like, "And I spent hours stomping Koopas." You know what I mean? Like I
feel like he was gonna say Goombas, and that's why he had to stop himself.
Well, right, maybe. I don't know. I'm just imagining somebody like holding like a key card like behind his phone, being like, "It's Koopa, read Koopa."
Aww.
And he doesn't. Like, again, you don't have to. Whatever. I don't think
we don't have much to work off of because he literally has like one line of dialogue.
Yeah, with the nature of these characters, you're going to have to lend a lot of your own persona onto them because
it's me, Mario.
Yeah, right.
But that aside, it looks great.
It does. Yeah, it looks nice.
Who knew Illumination, the people behind the Minions, actually had it in them to make a good-looking film? Because they don't the
Minions once again.
The Minions. I think they did. Maybe they don't do Sing. The Grinch movie, like they look good. This looks great. This is a level up. They have this looks. It is
Illumination that does Sing. I didn't need to look it up. Sorry, I needed to look it up.
Yeah, but no, it looks great. Jack Black as Bowser is awesome.
Jack Black's Bowser sounds great.
Sounds great, and I know he's gonna have a musical moment. I saw that somewhere.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Tenacious B, let's go.
I mean, again, only a few lines, but it sounded like a lot of he was having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
They made Bowser's jawline look like Jack Black's in a weird way. You know what I mean? Like they did a good job of that.
It's very. You can see Jack Black in the character.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Yes. And I'm here for that. That sounds like a lot of fun.
He also only said like 2 lines, but I'm here for Keegan-Michael Key's Toad.
Yeah.
The Toad voice was good.
Yes. I'm happy they did something to it to make it sound closer to like what.
Yeah, I'm glad it's
like.
I'm glad it's not just his voice. You know what I mean? That's what I was worried it was gonna be.
Okay, friends, what is the tagline for this movie?
What do you mean? What's the tagline?
According to IMDb,
do we have one?
Or
are we coming up with right
movie.
now? Am I guessing it or?
Yeah, guessing it.
Do you have it in front of you? Like
yes, I do.
Oh, okay, we're gonna one like something with one up. I don't know.
Okay. Ooh, that's hard. How do you market this? What's the? It's not Let's Go. That's too easy.
It might be Let's Go.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Is there a level up pun in there?
Nope.
Please tell. Okay, cool.
No level with pun? Like the Power Star.
Nope.
Yeah. Okay, give me the tagline.
Yeah, what is it?
Up. It's
Let's Go.
Is it actually?
It's Let's Go. That's the tagline.
Wow.
Sure.
They have 2. Actually, they have 2 taglines written here. Let's Go and Okie Dokie.
Okie dokie.
Okay, that's funny.
Thank you so much for watching my movie.
Yeah,
Nintendo has obviously had a hand in making this. This was not here's the rights, do whatever.
Yeah.
So I think
Nintendo is being absolutely draconian with this shit, I'm sure.
I think they're going to make sure that whatever the end product is, even if it is not the best animated movie of the year, it's gonna at least honor Mario.
I think
like the original.
This movie was in production long before Sonic was even announced as a movie, I think.
Yeah, 7 years in production.
But they are definitely looking at the success Sonic 1 and 2 had, and in theaters they're like, okay, like that's the bar. It's interesting.
We can
right?
make a universe off of this, so this one just needs a hit.
Yeah, well, because Nintendo has been kind of pretty famously, like up until recent years, they've been pretty like very protective of their IPs. They don't do a lot of collaborations because of obviously the disaster that was the live action Mario movie, Mario Bros movie in the early 90s, and also the Philips CDI, all those janky ass like Zelda and Mario games.
Yep,
that was them making a deal with Philips, and they just were like, okay, you gave us a shit ton of money, so we'll let you do whatever you want. And whatever they wanted was really bad garbage that is memed to this day. And it says black stain on those IPs. So that's why Nintendo, I'm sure, is very, very, very involved with this movie.
And Jill, you suggested we watch the Super Mario Brothers movie.
I did. I haven't seen it.
I'm really down for that, honestly.
I am too. I honestly think this is let's do it.
It's not good. Like, I mean, besides the fact you obviously know it's not good, it's just my most, like, the last time I watched it was in college, and I would just say it's joyless.
Yeah.
Because it's such an insult to like what the original property is.
Nobody played the video game, or maybe
somebody played it. One of the many screenwriters played it for one day.
Yeah.
And was like, okay, I've got this. We're gonna take the Dino Topolis.
In fairness to them, right? This came out probably like when Super Mario Brothers 3 was out. So like we had a handful of NES games that were super popular, but it still wasn't the level of like there wasn't Mario Kart yet. There wasn't Mario Golf.
No,
there wasn't.
I shared that in our group chat. I shared an article from Grantland.com. It was written in 2013. It's by Karina Longworth. Oh, Karina Longworth! You must remember this. It's the Karina Longworth. She does a podcast. You must remember this. It's a great one. In 2013, she wrote an article called "Hollywood Archaeology: The Super Mario Bros. Movie, Unearthing a Major Disaster to Learn the Lessons Held Within." And in that article, she does a really great job of kind of tracking the thread line of how this movie was made. And again and again and again, what comes back to it always is they just didn't. It's either they didn't, besides the fact that they didn't know or understand what the IP was. Yeah. They either did not care because it was a kids movie and all you need is kids to show up and it'll be a success, obviously, because kids have no opinions and can be entertained by a thing of jingling keys. Or they thought that they could improve upon this IP by injecting it with things that are just so wholly on Mario. And that would be enough to satiate the audiences because it would be not high class cinema per se, but it would be something else. Yeah. And it's so misguided. Yeah. And I like that the article posits that because this movie came out 2 weeks before Jurassic Park, there could have been a timeline where Jurassic Park was the flop and the Super Mario movie was the blockbuster.
Wow,
I didn't
Mario
even think about
be a
that,
movie franchise instead of a game franchise. You know?
I know. Yeah. Steven Spielberg, who? What?
We could be playing the shitty movie adaptation, a shitty video game adaptation of the Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
movie.
with Mario and Luigi Mario.
Wow,
Luigi Mario.
Holy shit, that's wild.
Oh, we need to watch this.
We do. All right. I'm excited for it. That's probably on our priority list.
That needs to happen.
Yeah.
All right. Well, friends, that'll do it for this episode of Game for a Movie. I've been your host, Mike, joined by...
It's a me, Andre.
It's a me, a Jill.
Yeah, I put more mustard on that than Chris Pratt did in the trailer.
All right.
Hey, guys, I'm Chris Pratt.
Game for a movie, here we come.
Well, I was just going to say, we're about to leave, so here we go.
Yeah, there you go.
You should find like a little soundbite of like them hitting like the 1-up or something to put it like the stinger at the end of this podcast.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.